Ruler School is brought to you by Happy Little Hug Factory and these amazing patrons. Extra special thank you to guest lecturer patrons Brody Harris and Lance Albertson. Thank you for your support. Enjoy the video. Hey there everyone, DMO73 here, bringing you the deck list for the Aimul control that I played earlier this week against Josh. This is a really fun list. It's probably one of my favorite lists that I've been playing recently. It was kind of an idea that I got from Ryan Miles, and he and I were talking a lot about it, and we kind of made some tweaks with the set of release of Winds of the Ominous Moon. So lots of really cool stuff here. You pretty much just use Aimul as like this very, very heavy value generator. You just kind of flip her really quick with some altars, and then just kind of keep crashing her into things to flip her back over and over again, so that you have these really cheap flips into life gains. You can make use of Final Battle really well, and you're like constantly getting more value off of her because of all your 3-drops. And all the new inverses. On the front, we're really not using that recovery effect. Really, it's on the back for that ability to bring in one of the top 3 cards of your deck. And then you're just going to keep crashing her into stuff and using her as a blocker and getting a lot of value out of it. So going into the stones real quick, we play 4 Black Silence, 4 Gusting Skies, 1 Gusting Darkness, and 1 Nature's Beauty. Reason why is we really want a lot of green for the kind of like early game cancel stuff, but also at the same time, I think you could probably get away with moving this Gusting Darkness to a Magic Stone of Nature's Beauty, because this deck is pretty starved for light, I'm noticing, and so I would experiment with trying a second green-white countdown stone instead of going an even split 5 and 5. Going into the deck, it's a little bit out of order here. We have 3 Fairer's Spell as a cancel. Going into the next spells, we play Final Battle, a couple of them. It's very easy to search. Same with Thought Control, very easy to search with the Lapises that we're playing. Same with Miscalculation for kind of some early game keeping the pressure up and keeping yourself alive. Severing Winds to kind of back up the cancel spell war. Life Stealing Altar, Soul Returning Altar, very, very powerful card in this deck. You can get a couple really early or even 2 or 3 flip and suddenly ramp all these stones. Also, as you saw with Rachel, you can just instant speed sack Rachel and search for any card in your deck. So you kind of just get like this instant speed, whatever you need for the moment, just by sacrificing the Rachel to the Soul Returning Altar side. 2 Command of Life and Death so that we can bring back Gil Lapis, Adam, Rachel's, lots of cool stuff to kind of keep the value train going for cheap. Kaguya's Moonbeam Butterfly to go into the deck to grab what we want, and that makes it for these spells. So going into the Resonators, we play a lot of 3-drops, a couple of 2-drops, and then like the only 1-drop we play really is Lorite. So you play Lorite as this kind of early game, canceling the effects, keeping yourself protected. For Rachel's, she is kind of the linchpin of the searching and consistency for the control package. Gil Lapis, because he also gets you some searching, which is great, and has that precision, which can be pretty helpful. The new addition is Ray the Black Owl. Very, very strong card, especially because when Aimul flips it into play, it auto-inverts. It's not like 2 separate triggers. It just comes straight in as Ray and then immediately inverts to 0, which just is a lot of value. And you get this 8/9 flyer that protects all your stuff, and it's really, really good to flip into this early off of an Aimul trigger. Couple of Mephistopheles. At the beginning, you play it on this side, you bring it in because you can choose whether or not to invert it. So if you're playing against an aggro deck, you hit this off the top with an Aimul flip, you choose to keep it on this 8/8 side, and then all those aggro cards are going to come into play rested, which is really helpful. And then on the inverse, if you're playing against a control matchup, kind of stops all their enter effects, which is pretty great. And then you also have a flyer, which is awesome. And then lastly, kind of a cute addition is an Adam Psychart. In control matches or at other games, like if this card sticks off of a Aimul flip, right, you can usually protect it with Aimul. And then, by blocking with Aimul or whatever, because this is never really going to get tapped. But it's just free value every single turn, right? So if you hit this off of like a turn 3 Aimul flip, your opponent has to like immediately answer it, or just from then on, from the rest of the game, you're just going to ping something off the board every single turn, and you can get a lot of value off of it. So overall, this deck can get a little bit grindy, but it is a ton of fun to play. Lots of cool play lines, and just using Aimul to flip over and over and over again and just get these massive cool lockdowns that your opponent just can't deal with is pretty sweet. So the sideboard that I played is a 0 Master of the Magic Saber. The idea here would be to play this against Kirik, because then we can also bring in the 4 zeros Magic Late, so we just have 7 Miscalculations, which is pretty awesome. Another Ray, and another Adam Psychart for potential control matchups, a couple Jupiters for a couple control matchups. A Fated Reunion to be able to kind of an additional way to kind of search any card that we need from the deck. A Grim for against J-Ruler decks. Another Thought Control, another Command of Life and Death, and then a Glint of Insight, usually brought in if we bring in the Grim, so that we can, you know, make use of its other effects. The 15th card would be the Shackles of Ice, but I'm not necessarily sure if the deck really needs it. That was the 15th card. That was what I was running. It's definitely just an option for what you could run for a sideboard for this deck. But that is it. Let me know what you guys think. Again, huge thanks to Ryan Miles for kind of working with me on this list. It was a lot of fun talking to him and figuring it out. Let me know what you guys would change in the comment sections down below. And until next time, this is DMO73 signing off.